السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. My dear brothers and sisters, thank you for joining. Inshallah ta'ala, today I know you all been waiting for updates. A lot of you have many questions. Many of you have questions that are obviously, it's quite obvious, and it's we expect that. That's fine. But I think the questions that are particularly of course important are in regards to packages and in regards to understanding packages. And I want to reiterate that Alhamdulillah, first and foremost, the update is that as per the dates that we expected, Alhamdulillah, the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah are working very hard with the Nusuk team and all the service providers and all these stakeholders that are involved in preparing you, preparing you for um, or preparing the website and preparing yourself as well. Because I'm sure before anything else, normally the question is what is the package, right? Because I'm going to be booking for Hajj, inshallah ta'ala, this year. I've intended to perform Hajj, and I would like to know what the package is. That's the first question, and people are waiting all the time for the packages. Now, um, I want to thank everyone for staying with us and joining us. And for those of you who have joined first time, just a quick reminder that we have been working in the Hajj and Umrah sector for over, you can see behind me, 33rd year for Hajj alone. And Alhamdulillah, myself and Muhtadi are senior guides, and there are many other guides whom we have not introduced as of yet. And we are a family that have been working with pilgrims pretty much majority of our lives, alhamdulillah, and we have been blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to serve the guests of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I think that's important, and I appreciate that, because if you are embarking on this special journey, it is important that you are with the right people who can guide you, inshallah. I mean, there will be a lot of people going and there will be a lot of people involved. The Hajj is something that historically was always an international conference where all people from all walks of life, from businessmen to scholars to peoples from all walks of life, come together in one journey and in one place, standing in Arafat, raising their hands to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, seeking forgiveness on that day, that there is no day that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala frees people from the hellfire more than this day. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it from us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. Insha'Allah ta'ala, today I would like to remind you all, before anything else, is continuous dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts your intention. That's important. In regards to the changes, of course, that we are adapting to and we are working in line with regulations, as you all know, we are as guides working with those service providers. We do not sell any Hajj packages, but we work as murshideen. The term is murshid, as a guide. Now, in terms of how things work, now I want to reiterate and make it clear that we are assisting people who are going to Hajj before Hajj, guiding them as we are doing now in terms of booking, but also post booking in terms of all the guidance that is needed so that you're very well prepared and you know exactly what to expect. And also, of course, the fiqh of how to perform Hajj according to the Quran and Sunnah, and also all the questions that, I mean, we're at booking phase and we have a lot of questions, and some of you are overwhelmed with the information. And inshallah ta'ala, our aim is to prepare you very well. And I have been privileged to work with brothers who are specialists in Hajj and Umrah. Myself, in terms of the fiqh and understanding of Hajj and Umrah, I have been able to support many resources and books, people have written books in terms of research, in terms of how the do's and don'ts and how to perform Hajj, as well as importantly, our mission is to ensure that, well, inshallah, we pray that and we will do our best that your Hajj is a Hajj that is transformative, and that's something very important for us. I think, and that's perhaps why you're here with us, inshallah ta'ala. Now, in terms of packages, um, and this is the big question, we want to really inform you that, of course, package designing and building is by the service providers in Saudi Arabia. There are 12 companies, and inshallah ta'ala, majority of the companies we have good relationship with, and we are serving. Our intention is to serve the Hujjaj and the pilgrims and to guide them. Now, where the system and the changes that happen, as you may have heard about the quota, and that's something to bear in mind. Quota is something that is set for all countries around the world, not just the UK, but countries all around the world. And we are a minority country living in the West, and there are Muslim majority countries who have a much larger quota because they're Muslim majority country, right? And as we mentioned on the group, maybe some of you have not been able to keep up with the Telegram. It is overwhelming for some. You can't be looking at it all day. It's not healthy. I understand that. But at the same time, if you're determined to go, you need to keep updated. So make sure that your family members and everyone is updated, inshallah ta'ala, as you're going through the process, especially during booking time. That's important. Now, what I'm trying to allude to and get to is to say that package making and design is not in our control. It is something that not is also is not in control. It's designed by the service providers according to the regulation. There are regulatory issues, and each year they're bound by them. So therefore, what you have seen in previous years may not be the case this year. So somebody who I know there are brothers and sisters who tried to perform Hajj last year and they couldn't get through. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your intention. There are others who are new, and there are many who performed Hajj last year. It was the first time they applied and they got through. Walillahi alhamd, you know. I make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that all of you are accepted, inshallah, and you get through. However, when you choose a package, brothers and sisters, please be aware that you will not get all of the things that you would like. It's just very unlikely, right? Because there are too many what we call variables. There are too many variables to design a package, inshallah ta'ala. It's important to understand that that is the way it's going to be this year from our experience, from what we have seen in the last 2 days, and we've been carefully studying. And Brother Muhtadi is here, mashallah. As you know, he's very well sort of has good knowledge of understanding packages in terms of departures, in terms of hotels, in terms of how things work. And from his assessment, he'll speak about that, inshallah ta'ala, and do a live demo today. So just without further ado, I'm going to go through a few slides before we do the live demo. So the plan today, inshallah ta'ala, inshallah, I'm just going to make myself a bit smaller here. Just bear with me, sorry. Okay. And I don't know if Muhtadi can be seen, but I'll try to pin him as well. I'm not sure if I can add as well. Okay. So, brothers and sisters, inshallah ta'ala, first of all, warm welcome to you all. Jazakumullah khairan for joining today. It's really important that you listen carefully, inshallah ta'ala, and in the next few webinars that we hold, where you'll have the updates, live updates, and it will answer a lot of your questions. Okay. And I appreciate that. As soon as you see it, you want to plan well and you want to do, you want to be ahead of the game. And that's why the webinars are designed to prepare you. Now, all of you understand shifting and non-shifting. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I want to give you a quick update. First and foremost, um, in summary, confirmed packages are on Nusuk and viewable. Confirmed packages are on Nusuk and viewable. Now, it is possible that there's some errors on the packages, and this has already been raised by the service providers. And what happens is they will go back and load those packages. That can be a case. And many of you won't understand that. From our perspective, that's what we're doing as well to help out. So everybody's making taking their role, and that's something that you have to be aware of. As soon as you see a package, fine, but it may be the case that in a week's time it may be different, or there'll be changes. So that's another thing to bear in mind before you very adamant about something. But majority of it should stay the same. But there are some issues, and even there are many packages still to be uploaded in the coming days, which we'll inform you about. Now, any package name or code, we don't like to use this term. It's probably what we'll say is that there are certain packages that we will create a sort of list or where we will be guiding. In general, all of the packages we will be able to assist any package that is booked, inshallah ta'ala, on those service providers that we mentioned. We'll be able to guide you pre-Hajj, all of the seminars to prep you for Hajj so that you are ready for Hajj. Whilst out there, physically being with every single individual in all times is not possible by any guide. That's just the fact, right? But we are more hands-on, and I can say to you that in terms of response, mashallah, um, and some brothers have messaged me, may Allah bless you all. How is it possible that you're able to answer so many questions? And I tell you what, this is something that we just go into that mode and we feel that we have to answer. Even if I'm really tired, or the brothers are tired, or the team are tired, and there are many brothers and sisters who are you're not aware of, that they will be also supporting, and they have tons of experience, inshallah ta'ala. And uh, so to keep it simple, myself and Muhtadi have been in the front, but there are people involved that are the reason why we are able to do what we're doing. So may Allah bless them working in the background. So you will be informed about that, inshallah ta'ala. So just as an update, please be aware. Yes, some of you have messaged that you've chosen 4 or 5 packages. That's brilliant. No problem. But you may see something else that you like. So do sometimes have a look with the service providers that we have referred to. Now, in terms of, by the way, on that note, there are more packages from another service provider that we are working towards um, sharing with you that are suitable as well, that you will like very much. It's just a matter of time, but we need to confirm a few things in terms of how things will pan out, because ultimately we will be there, our team will be there, and a sheikh will be there. For example, in Sira package, Sheikh Yunus Patel last year was the guide there. And Alhamdulillah, he delivered amazing spiritual experience for all those Hujjaj who went last year. As an example, myself, I was floating between the packages. And it may be the case that you saw my face in one service provider, but I will be available in all with the whole group and consistently throughout until the end of Hajj, and even post Hajj, subhanallah, we will have a relationship with you all in terms of communication. So communication and answers will be given throughout, inshallah ta'ala. In terms of logistics, that's something to bear in mind. Logistics, because of the nature of the Hajj this year, it is different to last year, because majority of the what we call the packages seem so far to show that they're pushing towards GDS custom flights. Custom flights means so all the packages are global. There is no package specified for any country, even the ones with the group flights. Anyone from anywhere can book any flight, any package utilizing the GDS system, the custom flights where you can live search. Now, getting used to that is really important, okay? And every single package, I want to reiterate this, every single package that you see will be sold this year because there are no extra packages like in the previous years. So in the previous years, there were far more packages than how many pilgrims there was. So what we're saying is that that means in essence you will if you will see packages that are available on the filter. So you will find anything in a particular service provider, then that will be your that will be guided by us regardless, right? And the being there, meaning physically in the hotels per se, when you're in the hotel, there will be our logistics team managing that in terms of receiving, in terms of support, and our other team members, each one will be there. But in terms of the Hajj in and of itself, in the camps, there will be our mashayikh, myself, and my father, who you haven't met, many of you, some of you have, who know me, who is our lead guide, and all of the wisdom and all of the knowledge that we have is from him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve him and keep him well. And our senior guides. So inshallah, they will be in the camps, including myself and Sheikh Yunus. Now, and this is where you'll get the guidance where you need it because it's the days of Hajj. And then you have times when you're in Medina where if the package says that there is a tour guide, a tour in ziyarah, then it will have ziyarah, which means ziyarah means a visit to the historical sites. I just want to say that it shouldn't be your main pulling or reason for choosing a package should be your dates, number one. And of course, if the package is guided by us, any of our guides, and that we'll share with you, and therefore thereafter you'll have that support, because ultimately, no matter how organized and how excellent the service providers and the teams are, and everyone pulled together, there may be at some point some form of discomfort or some form of difficulty. For example, for example, um, there is congestion around the haram, okay, and you're stuck in a coach and you need support, right? You will have the logistics team of the service provider, but it's always good to have somebody who has the know-how and the experience to deal with those situations at that time. Of course, other issues. There's many examples I can give. It's having someone that you can reach out to and say, you know what, I'm in trouble here, or I have this issue, or I need something, or there's an extra request that I need. And that's really important, inshallah ta'ala. Now, moving forward quickly, the shifting package, all of you understand now. If you don't understand it, as I mentioned, it's important that you do call us. Two people contacted me and I couldn't get back to them. Otherwise, I've managed to get back to everyone. So anyone else who's not been able to, from tomorrow onwards, you can give us a call and we can talk on the phone and discuss what is best for you. Okay. Very simply, shifting is two places in Mecca. Two places in Mecca. And the whole point of it is to make it more affordable. Okay. Now, if you find a package that's not more affordable and it's shifting, then you don't need to go for that because the point behind the package is to make it affordable and you're staying in a five-star hotel or a very comfortable hotel near to the Haram, to Masjid al-Haram, outside of the super peak periods. The Aziziyah area is a vast area which is next to Jamarat and Mina. Okay. And it's not like remember, everything in Mecca and Medina isn't a 5 minute walk. It's always going to be at least 15 minutes walk everywhere, right? Walking is something we're going to talk about later on that you need to do. You need to practice and prepare walking a lot, right? I love walking, and alhamdulillah, all these Hajj and Umrah that I'm doing a lot of walking, leading the groups, and it's something that I do in general. But parents and elders who have mobility issues, don't stress too much. There will be facilities. For example, if it's very difficult to walk, then there are other options, but you should still try to be a bit mobile for the next few months. Don't start just before Hajj. But this advice will come up post booking, because ultimately, if you don't have the booking, then we can't talk about those things. Unfortunately, inshallah, you get your space. Now, One question that was posed in Azizia, if you stay in the Azizia hotel, do you have access to your hotel? You do. You must have a hotel when you're in the manasik in the 5 days of Hajj in Mina, Arafah, Muzdalifah. God forbid something happens to anyone, you have access to the hotel, and you can go back to the hotel. And I've had a year when a gentleman, may Allah have mercy on him, he passed away years after. We made him do Hajj. He had a stroke and he could not move. And then we arranged for him to go to Arafat. He stayed in the hotel throughout the Hajj days as long as you perform the rukn, the greatest pillar of Hajj, and the sacrifice is given for those missed other wajibat, then his Hajj is complete. So we took him in ambulance all the way to Arafat and ensured that he performed Hajj. So again, just to remind you, that's why there is a hotel in Aziziyah, and the whole point. And by the way, in regards to holiday in Becca, number one, this is right next to. It is in the main district, and it is a famous hotel in Aziziyah, one of the best ones. If you're planning to stay there only, it's still a good hotel. Meaning, if you don't stay near to the Haram and you just stay there, then that's fine. That's still a good. There will be coaches taking or transport taking people for a number of days. After that, you can get a taxi easy to the Haram, inshallah ta'ala. And people go at around Asr time and come back after Isha, or people go at Dhuhr time and come back after Isha. It's still possible. However, there's other hotels like I'mar Noor, which is right next to Jamarat. There are other hotels like that are mentioned, and we're going to go more in detail into that in the upcoming webinars. But just to understand, shifting package overall is cheaper and more value for your money. Non-shifting package, stay near to Masjid al-Haram throughout your stay. So in Mecca, one place of stay. That is the general thing. But the Nusuk platform and the service providers have also made some hotels that are non-shifting, that are a way to keep the package cost down. Some people say, well, if I can do Hajj for £7,500, for example, including flights, and I'm going to stay 15-minute 10-15 minute drive from the Haram, but it's a fantastic hotel, then I don't mind, because I'm only going there to perform the Hajj. I can come to Umrah and be near to the Haram. Others will say, no, I would like to be, I can afford it, and I don't, money is not an issue. I want to be next to Masjid al-Haram. That's fine as well. However, I want to make something clear to you all. The hotels next to Masjid al-Haram most of them are luxury 5-star. And this year, the hotels that have been allocated or have on luxury, the packages that have been allocated for or which are luxury on the Nusuk platform, the percentage is 15% of the whole of Nusuk. 15%. So if you are trying for a 15% package where there's perhaps 200,000 people trying to book or more, then you're going to be narrowing it down to a very small, bottleneck, where it's going to be, your chances. You can try. I'm not saying don't try. You should try, but be aware. That's why perhaps when you are researching and going online, you'll find and comparing, you'll find that there's very few that are nearby, and even if they are, they're not the ones that you normally would have seen. And this is a new rule. Last year it wasn't the case. So we have to grapple and adapt to that and manage, because we want to perform Hajj ultimately. Another 35% perhaps, or 30% is with the premium package. And the rest of the 50% are standard packages. So have your priority accordingly and keep those in mind. If I have to, say for example, some people are saying, I don't want to stay in standard at all. But what if you have to take a booking and the luxury is finished? Keep one standard package out of all of the standard packages, excuse me, as a priority, one of the ones, the third or fourth one, no problem. But don't completely discount it and say, I'm only going to go for two. You're narrowing, you need to give the maximum chances for yourself. So non-shifting package, very simply, the main aim of it was to keep you near Masjid al-Haram throughout your stay. So one place of stay in Mecca, no Aziziyah, unless it's an Aziziyah only package. Hotel near Masjid al-Haram and access to your room also when you perform tawaf. It's convenient because you're doing tawaf and then you can go to your hotel. But again, it's the same with Azizia. On the way to perform tawaf, you can stop by in your hotel as well. So both are quite similar now. It's not that much of an issue. But one thing that you'll notice that it's a more premium price, brothers and sisters. So I'm not going to go through that because I've just explained standard, premium, and luxury. Standard is usually the 3-star or 2-star hotels. Premium are 4-star, and luxury is 5-star hotels. Some 4-star hotels are better than 5 stars. That's something to bear in mind. Some 5 stars are not even to the category of 4-star. So you'll find some hotels that they're showing at a different star level. Okay, like for example, Sheraton, right? But it's actually 5-star. But the Ministry of Tourism has chosen 4-star. So that's fine. But you know that it's near to the Haram. It's a decent hotel. It's clean, and a lot of people, all of us want to have clean hotels. So what should we do now? Just to recap before Muhtadi, I'm going to pass it over to Muhtadi to carry on and do our live demo. What should I do now? I know there are brothers and sisters speaking to me and the team and the support guides still not verified. And I would like to share that I'm not verified myself as well. And so I'm going to give a call tomorrow, inshallah, to Nusuk and see what they are saying and what's going on. And one or two of you, I've asked you to also call tomorrow. If not, then please try to call and, say that, look, I've been waiting over a month. It's quite a long time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy. Inshallah ta'ala. If you have trouble, give us a call and contact us, but don't panic. If it's meant to be, if you're going to go, you're going to go. Okay? This is a test for you and me. I am not guaranteed to go. Nobody is guaranteed. If Allah does not will for us to go, we cannot go. I'm grateful to Allah that Allah has granted us the ability to perform Hajj for so many years. And inshallah ta'ala, I have positive thoughts. And inshallah, as a guide, inshallah ta'ala, I hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts it from me. But I cannot get big over myself and say that I am a guide and I'm going to go. Allah's putting me through this, and I understand that. And I am grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. None of us are in this privileged position that some of you may have been thinking, or perhaps think that, we're all going through a trial each and every year, brothers and sisters. I tell you, we go through a trial ourselves. And that's something amazing about Hajj, that you have to sacrifice. It's a test for us. So please be aware of that. Those who have been verified, again, does that mean you're going? Some people will get verified in the last minute and still go. Some people who have been verified for 3 months may not go. I'm just being very frank. It is qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So get verified. Number 2, if you haven't, please reach out to us. Number 2, view packages. We're supporting and configuring the package. So whichever packages that we're supporting, then those ones. Now, question is, which ones are you supporting? As we said, in general, majority of those packages that we shared on the PDF. But what you can do is specific ones we'll be sharing. I must say that the team have been working round the clock, but what's happened is some of the packages have changed during the time since Friday till today. So what's happening is we're having to chop and change, and it's been a little bit difficult for the team, and it hasn't settled yet. So hence, it is important that you ensure that you follow the group when we send an update. What we do normally is we say, as of Sunday 11th January, this is the list. It may be after 2 days or even 1 day, even half a day, in the morning, in the evening, we'll make a new update and we'll show that where the update has happened, so it doesn't confuse you as well. So that's something to please be aware of, and don't stress. You're thinking, which package are you, brothers, Brother Mishkat or Brother Muhtadi or Sheikh Maudud, or the brothers from the Hassan Travel? Where are you? How can I ensure that I'm with you? Again, we will share those with you, but get used to the site. That's important. We said have a backup package. So in total 5. One that you really want, and then have at least 4 in order of priority. Top up your e-wallet with sufficient funds. Okay, very important. And that's been activated now, as you can see. One thing to remember is that if you have family that you want to link and they haven't been linked, do not activate it, because then you cannot, or you have another family who or a friend you want to join and you can link. Don't do that until you have linked and you know this is your group that are going, because it will create one unique bank account, and I'll explain this shortly. And be ready for the 3rd of February. We have upcoming webinars every week, okay, or twice a week, even if needed, inshallah, depending on the situation. Okay. We know that there's camps available. There are different camps available. The two main ones are Mu'aisim, okay, and Majar al-Kabsh. I explained before that Mu'aisim, even though it's a 45 minutes walk, it's very similar to Majar al-Kabsh, right? Majar al-Kabsh is has a smaller what we call um, limit or amount of people that it can handle. So 5,000, and the rest is 45,000 in Mu'aisim camps. So what we had last year is people logged in, people went to the Majar al-Kabsh, they clicked on it, and it says camp quota finished. So they had to go back to the beginning and look for Mu'aisim camps. But if you go to Mu'aisim camps, most likely you'll get your spot in the Jamarat, it won't delay your sort of configuration and sort of going to cart. Another thing to bear in mind, brothers and sisters, is so if you're saying it's a 45 minutes walk to Jamarat, hold on a minute, that's a lot, that's very far. How am I going to do that? Well, there are 3 tunnels, right, in the shade where you can walk, and all the pilgrims from Europe, America, Australia, and Turkmen, North, um, Russia, and all the um, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan, all of these countries, and many other countries, they all stay in one area. And what I wanted to say is that um, if somebody's not mobile, say for example, elderly person, what you can do is at that time you can arrange for a wheelchair or somebody. You pay extra money, not too much. Uh, this is during Hajj, and you can find someone, and we can help you and assist you find someone to push that person, or even that person doesn't have to go and give if they're really unwell and situation has changed. We'll assess. Then what will happen is someone will perform the Ramyul Jamarat on behalf of that person, but that's very rare. So that's something to bear in mind. There are other towers and places as well, but these are the main two. Now, how to activate the Nusuk e-wallet? Some of you have seen this already. Inshallah ta'ala, I'll just repeat for those who did not see this. So the e-wallet is basically a secure virtual wallet, and it acts like a temporary bank account, right, in Saudi riyals. Okay, and it's only solely for not for using outside for purchasing things, but to purchase Hajj packages, number one, and any other Hajj related services. But from what we've seen so far, you can't really purchase like Adahi. Adahi is basically the Hadi, which is the Qurbani in our term. South Asian, we use the word Qurbani, the sacrificial animal that you purchase to complete your Hajj. Okay, so then how would you do that? That's for later. It happens every year. We arrange it separately with the service provider. They will tell us how to do the payments and things, and we pay them, or whatever way we will arrange it for you. That's leave it with us, inshallah ta'ala. We'll make sure that will happen. Now, how to activate? He will show you shortly. Go to dashboard and click e-wallet. Click on activate digital wallet. It might ask you for some terms and conditions. You read and click and accept. You choose your method of payment, but it can change. But for now, you can choose one, right? Credit, debit card, or bank transfer. So just choose credit, debit card for now. And Muhtadi will explain about both of them in terms of credit and debit card and bank transfer. Bank transfer, there is a fee, international fee of about £30, depending on the bank, and it takes about 3 to 5 days. Okay, you can top up at any time once you have studied packages or other packages and have chosen the package that suit your needs. Oh, as I said, have backup packages available. Leave enough time for payment delays. That's something to bear in mind. So some of you are perhaps thinking, okay, I'm going to make the payment, right? And I have enough money. and you wait till the last moment. And then what happens? You make the payment, and then there are fraud checks that happen, right? If you make such a large amount suddenly, a payment, right? £18,000 for two people or 16,000, subhanAllah, that's a lot of money. So what will happen is automatically your bank will block it or stop. Okay, it won't do the payment, and you're stuck at that moment trying to top up. So inform your bank, call them, let them know that you're going to make payments to Saudi Arabia on the Nusuk platform. It may show up as Nusuk or Ministry of Hajj or something like this. But informing them is really important so that you don't, or do amounts in like 5,000 riyals. Okay. Some people do £1, £2, and then they say, oh, it's working. But of course, £1, £2 is not an amount that will flag up. But if you do a large amount, so this is very key advice, important advice. Um, Another thing that really is important to check is the refund and withdrawal terms and conditions. And they've changed that this year, by the way. So this is something that is new. I'll talk, well, maybe we'll look at that in upcoming webinars. For now, we're looking at packages. So how do you top up? We said debit, credit cards. Ensure and check which credit and debit card is best for you, and have a backup card ready too, in case the card, something happens. And perhaps something that you need to look at is foreign exchange conversion fees and bank processing charges. These are the two main things. So you ask, I'm sending money, what will I be charged? In simple English, you can call your bank and say, well, I want to purchase Saudi riyals. Okay. For the UK, Starling, Monzo have been the most reliable. You can use MasterCard and Global Premium or Premier bank accounts. Some people have like you pay monthly, and you're on a premier bank account sort of, and they don't have really or very little or zero fees on international payments. You need to check. Like I know the HSBC Global and others have it, or I think Barclaycard Reward and things like that. But it's all dependent on which bank you bank with. Personally, Starling and Monzo is quite reliable. Um, Another thing to bear in mind is when you put money in, some people say, well, I'm going to put a lot more money in because I want to ensure my Hajj, I'm going to go to Hajj, right? There's this thing, understanding that, oh, it's a bank, so I can pull it out anytime. Please be careful. You put too much money in, it may take over a month to get money back from February. It may take longer, right? We don't know. As you know, with the Nusuk platform, it is a little bit, because it's new technical issues, they might be busy. You're calling support. Remember, somebody at the end, other side, will have to check with the account and say, okay, this person wants to withdraw and actually send it back. So there's human action required, and that's something to bear in mind. So therefore, don't put too much extra, but put the amount that you think with a little bit extra, because if it is custom flights, which is live searchable flights, you want to have at least per person £500 extra, okay, minimum, just in case the flight prices go up, which it will do from the price. Some people, if they get in straight away, they'll get the price. Some people last year got a lower amount, sorry, 2 years ago, got a lower amount than what they were looking at. You never know, because the airline might be releasing more flights. So that's something that you can, and also you might want to go with a particular airline, and so that we'll talk about that in a moment. What happens if you book a custom flight? Some people ask questions on the group. Well, who will pick me up from the airport? Okay. In 2023 and 24, brothers and sisters, a lot of the people flew from all around the world, even from UK. Majority were on custom flights, and meaning not group flights. Last year, the custom flights didn't work at all. Okay. And it worked for global when they opened it for the whole of the world. Okay. They apologized and they said, we are sorry. This is something that was a technical issue. But this year, the plan is not to do it in phases, but actually everyone at the same time. Okay. So therefore, you will have, like in the previous years, not last year. So don't go by last year's rule, go by the years before, 2024 and 2023. That means anyone from anywhere can book any package. And this happened. We had Americans, we had people from Holland on our packages. right? That we were guiding, and it's fine. We're all here, but okay, question is, what happens? How do I um what's going to happen? Am I going to be left alone? No, what will happen is as soon as the booking phase is complete, brothers and sisters, you will be sharing your data, okay, meaning for which arrival date with the service provider, which arrival date you're coming, what is your package, for them to cross-check with their information and to see what time you're arriving because you've booked a flight that is outside of, they don't have knowledge of what timing you're arriving. So they will ask for that information, including other things like, for example, you'd like to be with certain people in certain rooms, room allocation, all of these things, all of these extra, you might want you have some dietary requirements, you might want a wheelchair, all of that information. This is post booking. And then they will prepare, we will support, we will be checking all of that. We'll be double triple checking everything and ensuring that somebody will be there on the day to receive you. And Alhamdulillah, it was very successful when we did that in 2024 and three before. Alhamdulillah, the teams there'll be communication, there'll be WhatsApp, there'll be a picture of the guy who's going to be at the airport, and then they will receive you and then send you off to your hotel. Of course, uh, how that pans out, it depends, but the best support that you can get, you will get, inshallah. I mean, to the best of our ability, and the service providers will work towards that. And they have time to plan for that. So that's not something that should be anything to worry about. And they will then send you and transfer you to your relative or whichever accommodation that you're staying in according to your booking. And one thing to bear in mind is, I'm not sure that he can maybe confirm in a minute, because that year we had option to add a taxi or a private car as an extra cost. Is that going to be available? I'm not sure at the moment. Does it give you the option? Does it only give you the option for a car, for a package transport? Then it will be through the coach system. But even then, say you say to us, well, I'm going to get a car or something, or you'd like to arrange that, we can look at those options afterwards and communicate that to the service provider and arrange it at an extra cost. If it's going to be more comfortable for you, if it's a matter of £50, £100, don't look at those numbers, get it sorted and do that, inshallah. Again, in terms of packages, some packages have train. You'll see all the packages on holiday in Becca have train. But again, if the timing of the flight is strange, like it's in a time that there's no train, not strange, apologies, but it's a time that it's when the train station is closed, right, at say 12 midnight, and you arrive at 1 a.m., and then you get out within 20 minutes to half an hour, right? Or 1 hour, and it's 2 a.m. And you can actually, instead of going by train to Medina, say you arrived in Jeddah, you can perhaps get a private car or a transport and sleep on the way and go straight to Medina, because there's no need for waiting around until 9 a.m. in the morning for the next train. Do you see? So what is best for you, of course, according to your package, that will be arranged, always looking at your needs and your situation. But if it's not possible, for example, then it's not possible to arrange. However, between Mecca and Medina, okay, one round is confirmed for the packages and holiday in Becca. As for Sira, not all the packages, in fact, none of them have train service at the moment, as far as I saw, but maybe some of them do. But what you can do is post booking again, connect to us and say, well, I'd like to arrange that. Can you arrange it for us? And we can look into that. And that we have time to plan for that, brothers and sisters. So long as there's availability, inshallah, we can do so. So this is something we've done previously. It can be done. Let's hope for that, inshallah ta'ala. So that's a few things that I wanted to mention about. I know we're talking about how do I top up my e-wallet, but it's information that is important. People are asking questions. Now, so add this, don't add significant amount. That was what I was saying earlier, right? Add an amount that is reasonable, knowing that maybe taking it out will take time. Okay. You may withdraw your funds later, however, it may take time to receive it. It is a manual process. Bank transfer, 3 to 5 days. We've already talked about this, so I'm not going to go through that. Okay, and I'll pass it on to Muhtadi now, and then we'll go to Q&A, inshallah. So um, go ahead, Muhtadi. Jazakumullah khairan. And I think you've been asking, so there are some questions that I've asked brothers and sisters to ask on the um, to ask on the Q&A that were very important questions. And I'd like that person to mention that, what those questions are, so it can be answered for everyone when you get to Q&A. So have that in mind, please.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters. Thank you very much for attending. I know it's Sunday evening late and everyone's getting ready for a busy week, but we'll try and spend a few moments on the Nusuk platform just to get a feel for many people who've either tried or have not logged in yet, or people who are possibly still yet to be verified. They can get a look of how the system is. So obviously I've logged in just now and I've come to my dashboard. So if you are activated, I mean verified, you will be exactly like this, or you would have had to select a preferred category, which I did on my video a couple of nights ago. This tile here would say, please select a category. You would click what would have been the plus button and select any category type just to go to the next phase. Now, before we continue, I may as well activate my digital wallet to show how it's done. Because my account is not an issue, I don't have to have anyone joining or linking. I'm going to be doing that now in front of you. But we want to reiterate, if you are going with family and friends, if you're going to be chopping and changing or deciding you want to add people to your account, wait until you're all joined into one account and then activate your wallet. Because once you activate it, it's very difficult to split, or I think it's impossible to split or become standalone, or to join another family member because you become a standalone account. And then you'll have to log in multiple times if you want to book the same package. So to activate your wallet, you will just literally click on this
No,
green
no.
button and you have to read the terms and conditions.
I think just on that note, I think as far as I know, in terms of being a guide, then if you activate, then I think that it doesn't show afterwards. I'm not sure.
I have two accounts.
That's fine.
Okay, so this
You
one,
guys are all
inshallah.
tech guys.
So you just have to read this. I mean, it's standard procedure, but you can see that there's some percentage deducted, which is 2%, plus taxes on top, VAT, the usual declarations about where your money is coming from. But at this stage, I think everyone's fine with that. You just click on accept. Um, and then you come to this page. Now, a lot of people have noticed they've been contacting us. They're doing a lot of things on their mobile. And when you do it on your mobile, this year, some of the buttons, because of the whole, you know, the UX being changed with some of the colors and the themes, some of the buttons are not where it should be. So sometimes you have to turn your phone sideways to find the button, or zoom out of the browser that you're using, whether it's Safari or Opera or Firefox or whichever it is on your mobile, or even laptop or tablet. So ideally use a computer, but also do practice on your phone to know where the buttons are if on the day of booking you need to log in on your phone. So you can see there's three um, payment methods here, but I want everyone to ignore this cash collection center. Every year they put a collection center, but it's not really practical and doesn't exist, because you click on that, you try and go somewhere to pay for it, and then the money will not be showing your account within time. Our advice, based on previous experiences, to either use your card or a bank transfer.
And when it says credit card, it means debit card as well, by the
Yeah,
way.
credit card. So they use the American terminology mainly. So it can be any debit card, any
Visa,
debit,
Master.
credit, or Visa. And I mean, there was some, they did mention that American Express will be accepted this year. I don't see the logo, but possibly when people top up, we'll know if it's accepted. But we assume it is. If not, then it's the standard Mastercard and Visa cards. Any bank transfers can take up to 10 business days. Now, um, for our organization, we do a lot of bank transfers for or we used to for Hajj, but now for Umrah and other tours, and we get 48 hours or 2 working days for it to clear. And we have the business accounts. So when you do it from personal account, it will take probably 3 to 5 days even. And you have to factor in Thursday, Friday is a weekend in Saudi Arabia, and then Saturday, Sunday is a weekend in UK. So sometimes it goes up to 8, 9 days. That's why they say up to 10 business days to appear in your wallet. So if you are doing it by bank, then start doing it sooner, meaning towards the end of this week. So we'll be ready by the end of the following week. But if you're looking to top up nearer the time or quicker, then the card is the best. And we've already discussed about using, Revolut, not Revolut, Monzo, Starling, and so on. So now I've activated my wallet already. You just literally click on credit card, enter the amount, whether you want to do a test one of 100 riyals. Now, this is Saudi Arabian riyals. Ra, Alif Lam, Riyal basically. It's written in Riyal. That's the
New sign,
yeah, the new sign that
the
they use.
symbol, the
Symbol,
logo.
yeah. And you can see here when you're withdrawing, the 2.3% will be deducted. I know previously they did mention that if you did it within a certain amount of time, you won't be um, charged, but I'm not sure if that's going to be applicable or not because it does look a bit different. But anyway, you top up the amount, and remember, all of the packages are in Saudi riyal. So if your package is, for example, 40,000 riyals, then you want to top 40,000, always add a little bit more. Just put £50 more. It's good practice, maybe 100, 200 riyals extra, just so that your booking doesn't fail on the day. We've seen sometimes with the exact amount, sometimes it can crash. So it's always better to put a tiny bit extra. You can withdraw that, or even if you don't, it gets the job done. So this is how to activate your wallet. I'll go back to my dashboard now. Um, and you can see straight away my e-wallet is activated. I have here. This IBAN here is your unique international bank account number. So the IBAN when you do um, bank transfers, it's unique to your account. So if you by mistake change one digit and send money, it will go to someone else's account. So if you did a bank transfer, this is why they have the copy button here. So you don't type or make any mistakes. You make sure you do exactly as you see on the screen. To view your e-wallet, you can always come back in. You can see all of your transaction history. So I haven't topped up, but if I did, it will show today's date, the amount, the payment method type, and so on. And for people that want to top up again, you click on this, and to withdraw or refund, you will click on this button. Now, after booking, one thing to keep in mind, there will be another button that says refund. When people try and take their money out, excess money, this is something we'll tell you later on, but you don't click on refund, you click on withdraw. Because if you click refund, you'll cancel your booking. So something that we will advise you not to take any money out until a few days after your booking is done. But just a note that came to my mind now. So digital wallet is there. Now let's go through the actual website, how to go through the packages. So obviously dashboard is there. Here I've got a package saved before because I did a video the other day for everyone, so that's why it was saved there. But to view packages, you click on this top menu. Now it's not that clear, to be honest. Previous years it was a little bit more clearer, but these buttons are a little bit hard to see. People asking me, how do you find the packages? It's literally you click on the word packages. And on the mobile, it is slightly different as well. So once again, figure out how it is on your phone and then get used to navigating the website. So let's click on packages. And what will happen is you'll come immediately to the package where all of the programs are coming on in one go. And you'll see there's at the moment 292 items. It's only 9 pages. And that's still very daunting or scary. Last year it was saying one of 50 pages or one of 60 pages. And when you were going next, it was crashing. It was so it's improved in the sense that there's less pages, less options. But what we want you to do is to click on filter and use the service provider ones. So just go straight to service provider, and you have obviously we're confirmed with Sira Group Holding, which is Sira Mawasim, and we have Holiday in Bakka, which is down here. So let's for example do Sira for now. So when you click on that, it refreshes the page, and then you click off that to close that text box. And now you can see all of the options that, for example, Sira Mawasim or Sira Group Holding are having for Hajj 2026. Now, they typically display how many is that? 9 per page. And it's a clean look, but you just need to get used to it. Every day there's some changes. Um, and maybe I'll do, which package shall I do? I'll do a shifting one just to show people a shifting package at first. Let's see. So we'll take the Smart 01 because this one has a group flight on there, which I know from before. So that way, people who want to know the group one, and then after I do the group one, I'll deselect the package and do a custom flight. So you can choose how to navigate a custom flight. Now, as I mentioned in my video previously, this is the button with the heart where if you want to save as a preference, you can click it to make it solid to be a favorite. I can click this one as well to make that a favorite. I can add multiple ones. And if I want to remove it, I just click and remove again. And if I decided to compare two packages, I click the button next to it. So I select that, and then I select the next one I want to compare, and it will come up like this, and I can click on this button and it will show me in a table format. We'll just do that quickly. What are the differences of, between package one and package two? Sometimes they're very similar. So this one is the difference is mainly I can see is the 3 days. Otherwise, everything else is the same. So then I'm like, okay, actually the Mecca hotel in Azizia is different. So I can see, okay, that's one difference and that's another one. Fine, I understand. So you can use that tool, but again, or you can go one by one and do it in a physical notepad and pen and see what works for you. So we'll quickly come back here to Sira. Sorry, just deselect it. And I believe it's on page 3. Okay, view details. Now, I want everyone to also be familiar with this button up here. This is very important. The basket. Sometimes people are unable to add packages because they're saying there's something in your cart or your basket. Before you select anything, you have to make sure your cart is empty because you'll go to this page and it'll say, oops, you have something in your basket. And you can easily delete a package by clicking X there. So I've now come onto Mawasim Smart 01, which is a shifting package. It's about might be 22 days or something. And it's a very respectable price as well. I put it in my preferred package and I scroll down. Now, this here, as I mentioned in my video, that the configure button is locked in so you can always see it and not having to scroll down. On the mobile phone, sometimes the button will not show, so that's why we say do it on the computer or get used to your phone to find the buttons where they are. So you scroll down, you'll see all the things that are involved. Now, people are asking, oh, is this involved? Is that involved? What's included in the package? Read on this page what's involved, what's included exactly. So this is a luxury shifting type package, which is 22 nights. It's from the 18th of May to the 9th of June. 19 nights in Mecca, 3 nights in Medina. And Zone A is the main hotel in Mecca, and Zone M is obviously the Azizia hotel where you'll be shifting or staying on the days of Hajj. You can see the pictures of the hotel in Mecca and then your Azizia building or hotel and then Medina. Let's see. Even I've been in for a while and look, the website's playing games with me. This will happen to you even on the day of booking. So you have to keep in mind that the website sometimes will come up with pop-up boxes or errors, and it can be frustrating, but just persevere and continue. Now, everything that is essential service, this is what you really need is going to be the same more or less everywhere. Obviously, your visa is included, your Mecca, Medina hotels, catering, which is usually on half board basis, which is breakfast and dinner, all the transport between the cities. So from your arrival into Saudi Arabia, be it Jeddah, be it Medina, you will be transferred from the airport to your first accommodation, from your first accommodation to Mina, from Mina back to your accommodation, and then from there to the other city. Or if it's to Medina first, you'll be transferred from Medina to Mecca, Mecca into Mina, and then back to your hotel and to the airport. a guide. All the packages on Nusuk will have a guide. If you're doing any of the Sira Mawasim or Holiday in Bakka ones and you registered with us and you've opted in to be with us, then one of our team will be your guides, inshallah. So we'll speak about that in future webinars as well. And all the other things here are extra. So this one, for example, has a ziyarah in Mecca and ziyarah in Medina. Factories and museums are not open in Hajj time, so they're not really there. It's just been put on there for um, by the Nusuk people. Wheelchairs available by all service providers. So even if you tick that or don't, it's not an issue. We can always support you post booking. Now here, this one is quite good. So it says frequent transportation to Haram during prayers. This is actually referring to the Azizia Hotel, where they will have up to a certain few days before Hajj, they will have shuttle service. So people thinking, oh, do I have to get my own cab? No, you can use the hotel transport to the Haram and back for a few days. And then I think it's believed, Mishkat didn't correct me, I think it's from the 4th of Dhul Hijjah or something where they stop the shuttle,
Yeah.
and then they'll open it post
Because of
Hajj.
road restrictions. I want
Yeah,
to
road
just
restrictions.
add,
So at least if you go early, don't think I'm going to be far. We can still use the free shuttle, or you can take a cab. So there's options there. So the service providers are always trying to make it easier for you. It's just the road restriction, the traffic conditions, if they have to follow the rules and regulation. So you
just
can
on
read
that.
all of this. It's pretty much the same for most packages, to be honest. And the cancellation policy is again more or less the same for all packages. When you're booking, or if you're at this stage now, you should actually be sure about booking. If you're not sure, then maybe let someone else have the chance
Can
to
I
go.
just add something? Sorry, on that note,
Yeah.
which I forgot to mention, and it is important that you're aware. Brothers and sisters, in the Mashair, Mina, Arafat and Muzdalifah, and around the Jamarat area, there are no cars, private cars allowed to come in during Hajj. No cars. Everyone has to use buses or coaches. They use bus term, but it's coaches basically. And you will be taken from your accommodation via a coach, and this is to control the traffic to ensure that there is ecosystem where people are moving in large amounts. If they allow cars to just take a taxi, I'm going to go to Mina by myself. I'm going to do things by myself. I've traveled the world. It doesn't work like that in Hajj, brothers and sisters. 50 people, 48 people at a time. Fill up, off you go. Fill up, off you go. And that same bus will go around, or coach. I keep on using the word bus because you think bus as in UK, but it's a coach. It will go all the way to Mina, and come back, even when it goes to Mina, to Arafat, Arafat to Muzdalifah. Every time it's a coach, and they are known as Taraddudiya, which means shuttle service. So that same coach will go and drop people, come round again, pick up the next group, and it just goes round and round and round like that. And what that means, brothers and sisters, is that some people are asking the question, can I go from Mina to Haram? How long will it take if I go from Mu'aisim? Some people are thinking, well, can I take a taxi? Or, for example, from Jamarat, all of these places, still there is an element of walking. Yes, there are taxis on certain bridges, 15 minutes walk minimum, 15 minutes walk from wherever you are. There's no such thing as to your camp or to the place that you are, that you'll get, I can just hail a taxi or call an Uber. It doesn't work like that in Hajj because they're managing hundreds of thousands of people. And on that note, one more thing. Some people ask, well, I need to go from Mina to Mecca. When do you need to go to Mina to Mecca? There's only once you need to go from Mina to Mecca, and that is for the Hajj, Tawaful Ifada. The Hajj Tawaf, or another term that is used by the scholars, Tawaf Ziyarah. Brothers and sisters, that Tawaf, 90% of the pilgrims, wherever they are, whether they're Mu'aisim or Jamarat, they walk to Mecca. So they go to Jamarat, they throw the stones, and then they walk a further, same distance to go to Mecca through the pedestrian tunnels. If you've performed Hajj, you know what I'm talking about. Alhamdulillah, with ourselves, till today, for the last over 12 to 13 years, we have been able to successfully arrange, either if it's through the companies in the last 3 years, and or through a private sort of arrangement, we are able to, inshallah, may Allah may it continue, through our expertise and experience, hands-on in Mecca, we're able to arrange a coach from Mina. It may be 10 minutes walk, it may be 15 minutes walk maximum from your camps all the way to Masjid al-Haram, and another 10 minutes, 15 minutes walk. but without walking the whole distance. To perform your tawaful ifada and sa'i and come and then again via coach bring you back to Mina. And this is one of the things that, alhamdulillah, we're actually supporting many groups and brothers and sisters doing this for the last few years, alhamdulillah. Previously, we used to only do it in some companies, but alhamdulillah, we hope that we can do that as well this year. But we have the know-how and inshallah the knowledge to do that, and that's something that people appreciate a lot. That how we organize that. mm, the busiest day, brothers and sisters, is the day of Eid. The Eid of the Muslims around the world is the busiest day for pilgrims. We go to throw the seven pebbles in Jamratul Aqaba, the large pillar. Don't worry if it's all new to you, but it's a busy day. There's no Eid for the Hujjaj, the pilgrims. Rather, it's a day of coming out of Ihram and making the sacrificial sort of qurbani or what we call the hadi, and then arranging that. So we arrange that for you. And then instead of going to Mecca, we by walk, we come back to the camps and then we arrange a transport when it's a bit cooler in the day. There are some things that those people, I mean, some of you have come through recommendation and know who we are, but those things are what stick out with us, and that's something that it feels like I'm kind of like um, it's really bad to say, but I'm being very honest, like selling myself. But actually, it's something that people need to be aware of because what happens tomorrow, somebody will say to me, brother, you didn't tell me about this. This is a thing that is very important to me and it makes it easy for me. And only purely for that reason, I'm mentioning it. I don't like to mention it, but inshallah, it's something that we would hope to and we have been doing that's a very big day for us, our team, that logistical operation to arrange to go there and back. So just be aware of that. So, the service providers nobody will provide you transport on that day, transfers on that day. That's not possible. And no Hajj company will do that. So that's something to bear in mind. Sorry, carry on.
Jazakallah for that. So as you probably saw during that thing, it just logged me out randomly. So even though I had the session, so that can happen on the day. And you can imagine hundreds of people at the same time. So you have to quickly get back in, be available on your OTP. I kept on this page just so I can show you that on each section. So normally they have the Makkah hotel on the left. Even if you go Medina first, they will tell you the dates in this order. So they wouldn't put Medina first there, then Makkah. So you have to kind of read it to know your thing. So we know, for example, I fly in on the 18th of May, but this one says 31st of May to 6th of June. So my Azizia hotel is from the 18th of May to the 31st, and then 31st of May to the 6th, and then from the 6th to the 9th. So it can be sometimes a bit confusing visually, but you have to keep in mind first it's Mecca, then first it's Azizia, then Mecca hotel, then Medina. So you'll get used to that. Maybe when you make your own tables at home, then you can understand which one is Mecca first, which one is Medina. But without any further delay, let's go to configuring package. You click on configure package and you have a chance to choose your camp. Now, Majel Caps, in an ideal world, we'd all go for that, but only 5,000 spaces out of 50,000. So very limited and already it goes pretty quick. So we would recommend as guides that you choose Mu'aysim to increase your chances and to have a bigger chance of being with the group. Sometimes what happens in Majal Kabsh, if there's lots of individuals, then the service providers may give slightly less attention to having group thingies. They make smaller rooms and keep you a bit more like segregated or on your own. But we have supported last year. We can support this year as well. But my personal advice is I would recommend Mu'aysim Camp primarily because it will increase your chances and it will make sure that you'll probably allocate to the group leader of your choice. Now, when you look on this page, this button is not here. You have to scroll down, and it's different on the mobile phone as well. So you need to make sure you're quite like well versed or good in terms of navigating the website. So we click on next, and at the moment it's going quite quick, but on the day you will see it's quite lagging. Again, just to reiterate for people who may not have viewed our demo video, that you're booking a bed in a shared room, meaning an occupancy. So, for example, in my main Mecca hotel, again, it's displaying it in different orders, giving my post-Hajj main hotel, where I'm shifting to Hyatt Regency, which is a very good five-star hotel, and it's giving me double, triple room and quad room options. So a lot of people are asking, do you have double rooms? This is a package I would highly recommend for people who have the time. It's a very good price with Qatar Air flights. to try and get this one. So you can select either +1 for one bed there. When I do that, it closes off because there's only one person in my profile. If, as some people have asked, you've got two, three, four, five people in your profile, you need to click up to the number of people in your account. If you have five of you, you click five. If you click, you don't click four, and so on. So you could potentially, and I've tested, you can click one bed here and one bed there if you want to have different occupancies, but ideally you want to keep it consistent and be pretty much consistent throughout. And this one, the good thing about this package in Azizia, they have double, triple, and quad room options as well. So people who want to have couples room and so on, something to consider. You can click on this and have your own private room or so on. Although it says in the shared double room, we as the guides, we liaise with our service providers to make sure that anyone who does double or triple rooms and then the same family, so long as they share the information with us, we can make sure that, as I said, I'd say 99%. We have to keep 1% open in case the last room or last few rooms mean you have to be in shared accommodation. And then you come down to Medina and you can see the dates, and they have again double, triple quads, which is a good option. Again, you can select. Some people we've seen in the past select double in Mecca, sharing in Medina according to their budgets. Or if some people by mistake click on the wrong ones throughout the booking, then what happens is it doesn't let them go. Like the last double room is missing, they have to go to a triple or a quad room. These were one of the glitches on previous years, but let's see how it unfolds on the sales process this year. So I've selected that, and as you can see, people were asking, does the package not include the bed? Why is the price increasing? The base package we saw on the package section at the beginning was not the final price. It was just the minimum based on certain other components that build up a Hajj package, but they cannot list every single one of them. And then the main things that change are your room occupancy, your flight, and your mode of transport, which is why they add those three separately. So you scroll down to the green button and click next. And again, it should quickly come up to additional services. For this particular one, I would just skip and go next straight away, regardless of whether you need a wheelchair. We can do this all post-booking. Just you want to get through quickly and not add any additional steps to your booking where it can potentially fail. That's my personal advice, but it's up to you if you want to click on any of those services. You click on next, and now you come to, so look, on this particular page, you'll see it takes longer to load on the flight one. Every year we see this. And then people get worried, do I click it again or not? So service provider flights now, the whole concept of Nusuk is they're trying to make it dynamic and make it easier, give people access, expats living in other countries or people flying in from back home or other places. They want to give people the flexibility to book their own flights. And we'll do the custom flights as soon as I finish the group one. But this particular one has a flight from London to Jeddah and Medina back to London. If you click on flight details, you will see this is a Qatar Air flight. If you click in flight 112, I'm quite certain this is from Heathrow, but it might even be from Gatwick. But you can check with the flight number on the Qatar Air website or on Google, and you'll see exactly where it is. And then it will arrive with a good transit of 4 hours because you need to change into Ihram and make sure that you're prepared to land to Jeddah. And then flight back from Medina because your hotel ends in Medina, so you don't have to come all the way back to Jeddah, and you'll have a short transit and then onwards to London. Now, if someone wanted this package, they liked it, and they're flying from Manchester, and we have a lot of people asking us, no problem. You just click on on this and continue. Now, I think I should just go ahead and do that now, isn't it? Because rather than delaying and going back and forth, because if you were to select this flight, it tells you this fixed price of say 7,240 riyals. You'd click on that and then go next, and it would be a fixed price more or less. I mean, there's a transport section that adds to it, but I think I'll go into the custom flight now just to show. For example, people from Manchester or other places or Birmingham or wherever you are, you wanted to select this package. You click on a flight of your choice, a custom flight. So it says here, no compensation made for any missing days. Yeah. So if you arrive late or depart early, obviously they won't refund you the money, but you're allowed to do that. Now, some people have played with this and they've looked at it and they're saying, oh, how do I find London flights? Because automatically it says Doncaster. You have to actually click on the box and then type your city where you want to travel from. But actually, you want to also look at multi-city because we know this package goes to Mecca first and comes back from Medina. So I don't want to do a round trip of, for example, Manchester, London, London, sorry, Manchester, Jeddah, Jeddah, Manchester. I want to do Manchester, Jeddah, Medina, Manchester. So to do that, you click on multi-city and you type. So let's do Manchester because a lot of people have contacted me for that. So I type in Manchester and you click on Manchester MAN, which is the code, not Manchester in the United States, but MAN, which is in UK, and you have to Jeddah. Now, this flight starts, so this package starts from the 18th to the 9th. So I can do any flight that lands from the 18th to the 9th as the outer dates. If I wanted to do a shorter date, I can say, okay, you know what, I want to travel a few days later. I want to travel on the 20th, and save 2 days annual leave. And I want to fly back from Medina because I know my hotel ends in Medina and I don't want to have a 5, 6 hour journey back to Jeddah. And I want to come back to my hometown in Manchester for this example. So I click on that. And I mean, in this particular package, because there's only 3 nights in Medina, I wouldn't want to reduce the nights. I'd try and reduce it at the beginning in Azizia and keep the hotel in Mecca. But let's go with this. And I click on show flights. Now, automatically, the number of travelers will come up based on the number of people in your account. So you wouldn't have to mess around with that. But if it doesn't, then just make sure if there's 3 of you, you select 3. If there's four, 4, and so on. You can select more flights if you wanted to go to onwards. For example, you wanted to travel to other countries, but it's really not going to be needed. I think if you wanted to have a stopover, and some people on the way back they want to have, like, actually someone's asked me they want to stay in Qatar on the way back 3 days and come back to the UK. You could technically do that and buy that ticket in one go, but it's probably going to add to your time at booking. So maybe you want to do it quickly. So click on show flights. And this now will come to a live searching system, like booking system. So it's searching the system now, as if you're on Skyscanner or with any travel agent or any other website. Now, you have recommended, where it will tell you a flight which is really, ideal for you. Cheapest, which was probably with a long stopover, and fastest, which is going to be probably the shortest but the most expensive. Now, you have different, what do you call it? Things you can play around with on the left, filters, sorry, if you want to have stops or no stops. And all the prices are in real. So by rule of thumb, if you want to make a quick calculation, just divide by 5 if you're doing from the UK. It's about 4.9 to 5 reals to a pound, but just to get a quick rough idea, you'd do that. Just put my charger on before the laptop switches off. Okay. So yeah, this important box here, it's telling you that you can enter until, like, I can enter on this package. It's pulling the first date, which is 18th, until the 23rd. Yeah, with Saudi Airlines, and from the 18th to the 21st with any other airline. Okay, and I can arrive at Jeddah or Medina. And I can exit the first flight out from Saudi. A lot of people ask, I want to do 10 days, 11 days. Somebody actually asked they need to be back by the 31st of May. And the first flight that you can fly out from is on the 30th. So keep that in mind, because I think somebody was asking they need to be back by the 31st, but that flight might be very difficult to get or very expensive. So I'm going to scroll down now. Now it's showing me different airlines. It's showing me Pegasus. Manchester's got probably less options than London. So I can click on view flight details and see the flight itself, like the timing. Now, on this particular computer, it's not my desktop, it's my laptop. It's showing a bit, the pop-up box is not great. But do get used to the device that you're using so you can read everything. You don't want to choose something with the wrong flight by mistake. So this one is not bad. It's got an hour 30 layover in Istanbul, on the way there and on the way back, 2.5 hours. I'll probably be happy with that. But if I wanted to just go back, you just click off the screen and you scroll down. A lot of the time people take more established carriers like Qatar Air or Etihad or Saudi and so on. But you will notice that a lot of the flights are not there because generally the flights from the UK for around this time at Hajj, the availability is quite low. Hence why service providers did not make too many available this year. They're leaving it open for people to select packages. So let's just select the first one for the demo. So scroll up, click on select. Mishkat, is it clear so far? Sorry, I don't know if it's easy for the public to follow.
I hope so, inshallah. Just
Okay,
a
so
little
when you click on
slow, just a little bit
that,
slower.
okay, so when you click on that, it will come to your traveler details. Now, it's got my information there. When you have more travelers, it will say traveler 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to the number of people. And obviously, your name will be pre-approved. Everything's got to be there. And your passport number, which is very important, and expiry date, which is required for ticketing. And and then you will click on I accept, and I review the details, and you click on submit. Now, we're probably anticipating more than half the bookings on Nusuk this year to be on custom GDS flights, as it was in 2024, because of the adaptability and Nusuk and the service providers not knowing where people are going to book from, and to give full flexibility on people and their dates. Now, when you select it, you will have 5 minutes to complete the booking, because on Nusuk, you got to be quick afterwards to come and select the transportation and then review and pay for your package. So don't sit there all day trying to figure out, oh, what shall I go for? Or taking ages to go to the next page. Practice this process. So when you come to the next page, you have to add your transportation, which is the transport between airport to hotel and hotel to airport. So this year, as you were saying, Mishkat, it's not actually given any private car. I think all of it's going to be mainly um, package transportation. So I think this button, even though I've done a private custom flight, it's just giving me package transportation as one. So I think everyone will just have one button to click, which is this coach, bus, whatever you want to click on, call it, sorry.
Uh, yeah. So again, on this note, this is as of now.
As
Tomorrow
of now,
something
yeah,
might
yeah.
change.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
so
okay,
that's
perfect.
one thing to bear in mind. So
Yeah,
we still have a couple of weeks.
yeah.
It's
So they
still
may
week
add another option where you can click on this and it will give you a private car, which will be, for example, 300 riyals as opposed to 50 riyals on here,
because you're
which
paying
is
for the whole car.
for the whole car, yeah. And you'll notice that this button is selected. If sometimes you can't go to the next page and saying, why is it not letting you? It's probably because this is deselected and you haven't realized, because it's not really that clear, to be honest. So you need to make sure that button is ticked, and then you come down. And even these tabs are not really that clear until you hover over them. So I need people to be practicing this, to click on the button, to then have the button appear. And again, it's auto selected, but if you needed to deselect and select, you can, and you scroll down. Now, every single package on Nusuk will have the transportation between cities and Mashar. Mashar is obviously the days of Hajj, and the shuttle service from your Mecca accommodation to Mina and back. And Mecca to Medina or vice versa is always included. This is standard for all service providers. Don't need to worry about that or click anything on that.
Just to confirm, all of the masha'ir, meaning Mina to Arafat to Muzdalifah and back to Mina, etc., is included with the shuttle service of the camps in Mina. However, the journey from Mina to Mecca and back is not included in any package in the world, whether it's B2B or B2C, meaning the Nusuk platform or outside the Nusuk platform. So you'd have to walk to Mecca and back, or find a taxi or find your way. But inshallah, that for that way we will be supporting and guiding, inshallah, finding the ways for you to
So
try to
I've
get
clicked next because I remember that 5 minute window. I'm gonna be sitting there all day trying to figure out, and then my flight disappears. So if you're doing a custom flight, try and do straight away. Just click the transport, go to the next page. You just double check. Okay, you've done in a double occupancy, or triple or quad, whatever you found. Just review it one more time. In Muaisim camp, your flight details on there. You just double check that it's the cities that you want. You're gonna click on the details. You can click on that and see exactly what you're booking. And then you scroll down.
So I can see this one's Manchester, right?
Yeah, I did that as an example, because there's a
Oh,
lot of
you
people that
chose
want
it.
this package, but the group flight is from London, but they want this
Mm,
package. So I said, okay, you can book it from Manchester and still join, you know?
okay.
So it's just so that we can hit two in one. And then, so obviously I haven't topped up my account, but you have to have it in green, or, in the black, meaning it's got to have more than your package price. So just to give people an understanding, if it's, say, 42,700 divided by, say, five. This is roughly eight and a half K for a double room on a shifting package, double room all the way with the flight from Manchester,
MashaAllah.
with Jabal
MashaAllah.
Amr Hyatt Regency, with the flight that I want from my hometown. Well, I'm
It's a
not from
very
Manchester,
good
but I'm
price.
choosing Manchester. But you can see that it's a very respectable package, and it's, five-star hotel in Mecca, a very good
Can
hotel
I
in Medina,
can I
and
add maybe perhaps if the airline flight, say a lot of people try to book that, right? And those seats. So what is the amount? Maybe nearer to the time
we
we
will say that, but Hajj flights are usually, they start on the custom GDS from 1,200, and they will go anything up to 18, 1,900, even 2,000. So we would probably advise saying put 2K in just to be safe side. Now, when you click on this, it will say save configuration. Right now, it's saving it, but on the day you will be able to actually buy it. It will save it, then click, there'll be a button saying purchase, and you'll see it. You're not going to miss it. So this is how you do the custom flight. And rest assured, it will be working this year because last year they separated the custom and the group flights. This year it's all in one go. And in 2024, the custom flight was actually working very well, and people, many hundreds of people managed to book on that quite easily. So then you'll come to your dashboard, and when you're booking, you'll have like a little um, logo of Nusuk and saying doing something, and you wait. You don't click on anything. You let it do it. Sometimes up to 5 minutes, and then it will deduct the money. And how do you know your booking is done? When you come to your e-wallet, if you had say like 50,000 riyals, it'll come back and it will show the money deducted. You need to make sure that the money is deducted to know that your package is booked.
This is
So
99%. So there was a one
there was
zero.
one brother who's everything he got the receipt, but the money didn't deduct. And when he logged back in, unfortunately, he didn't. And I really feel for him. Inshallah, he can go this year. Now,
You may be
I just
watching.
want, because we are running slightly over time, I just want to show here this button here at the top. You'll see there's always a green. It's got my package on there now. If I'm doing a group package, which we can do now quickly if you want, you can always click on configure package and come back to checkout quickly. Even if it's on a custom flight, you can click on that and it will ask me to quickly search the flight again. So whatever package you have, when you click on here, configure package, so if you're saving a package that you like before sales, you click on this button, configure package, it will do the first step quickly and bring you to this page. Now I can decide to quickly do a custom flight, or let me say, no, actually, I don't mind going from London. I'm going to select a group flight. I just want to get my package and check out. So I'm going to click on that. Now, notice how the Pegasus flight before was 6,000 or something. This is 7,200, which is about £350 more for the group flight. So the custom flights at the beginning is cheaper. Towards the end, it goes to the same price as group flights. Sometimes it goes up beyond, but you just continue. Now, when I've logged in this time, the first time I did it, it was pre-selected. The second time you're doing it, it's not selecting. You're probably going to go down and clicking next, next. It's not going through. It's going to say, oops, something's going wrong. It's because I didn't select the package transportation. And in the heat of the moment, it's very easy to forget to do that, especially on the mobile phone. This is why we recommend maybe using computer devices. So click on next. And I'm thinking, what's happening? But I can tell from here, there's a little button, moving, telling me it's loading. Don't press back, don't press forward, just wait. Okay, it's very important because sometimes you confuse the system and it will chuck you out. And when you're chucked out, that's the biggest problem because logging back into the website is the hardest thing on the day of booking. Okay, so again, you can quickly review. Now this time, the button is not locked in, so you have to scroll all the way down. Where's the button? And you find, okay, save configuration. Normally, there's a button that says
Purchase
purchase
package.
or buy.
Purchase
So
package.
yeah, so this time I'm going to save the group one just so that it's already there, and I can think so. It's always in your cart. Now, people are asking, how do I then add another package to my cart? You can't. You can only do one at a time. So if you, for example, wanted to add another one, or you wanted to browse or practice browsing another one, you have to click on empty your cart and click yes. Then it will load again and it will say it's removed. And you'll see, okay, now I can go back and add another package. Now, how do I know where my preferred packages are? You click on your name and you go to my package, and you'll be able to see the preferred packages that I clicked on. If you remember at the beginning of this video, I clicked on three, or I clicked on two and I had one from before. These were the ones where I clicked on and I can go to these straight away. And for example, if I narrow down my 5 or 6, I can have them on my preferred. I can then from here click on view details and go straight to that rather than going to the main home page and typing in the service provider or the name. I can quickly press that and go to configure, and I've done a shortcut. Does that make sense? So I can go to my package. I believe it's up to 5. It may be more this year, but you can play around with it. If I want to remove it from my thing, I just click on that and it's gone. If I want to add it, I go back. But if you wanted to quickly go to options, for example, this might be my option 1, holiday in Bakka package. Very good package in holiday in Bakka. Short 14-day with a group flight. If you want to do that, do your Hajj and come back, do it with a very good price. I think it's 7 or 8K. Then you just choose something like this and you quickly check out. So I can click on this. I've already studied what it's entailing before. It's going into Medina first, then Hajj, and then out. Because all of this you do in the next couple of weeks. Like you learn, okay, this package it means this. This package means that. So because it's a standard package or not a luxury one, it's not going to have the Majal Kabsh. They've just put the Maisin Camp. And as I mentioned for reasons earlier, it's probably the one you want to go for to get your package most likely. Again, on this particular package, it's mainly doing the Hajj and coming back. So it's only got quad room. They will have limited upgrades post booking, but it's always subject to availability. But you know, it's not the end of the world if you don't get it because in Mina you'll be separated and it's very short time in the hotels. So sometimes it actually is a better experience to be with brothers and sisters with sisters to have a more enhanced experience in terms of brotherhood, sisterhood. Again, you can add these if you want, but this can all be added post booking with your guides. So don't even like I wouldn't even bother with this. Just scroll down and click on next. And the reason why I'm showing multiple ones is so that you get used to you know going through option one, option two. And I think sometimes people use all these Excel sheets and all these other. Maybe have a physical notepad and write it down with a pen. Your option one, option two, what you want to go for. This particular package is again flying from London to Medina, so you don't have a long journey. It's on Egypt Air, and you're coming back from Jeddah to London again on Egypt Air. If I wanted to select that, I can do that. But look how expensive the flight is. Can you see the shorter ones are always going to be expensive? So that's nearly like it's under 2K, but it's around £1,900 group flight. And the service providers are aware. A lot of the group flights, when they're offered from the airlines, are a lot higher than what it would be on the GDS. And part of trying to give a cheaper package is to give you the chance to book your own package for a cheaper price and to give you flexibility because you may not want to go on Egypt Air, you may want to go on Saudi Air. So there's different options. So again, I would select this flight, or if I wanted to do a custom flight, acknowledge and select a flight and go through that process again. And I need people to go through this and practice themselves so that they're fully used to doing it and it becomes second nature. You can have many tries of doing this now. On the day of booking, you have one chance. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Again, I clicked on that. This time it was pre-selected. I didn't have to tick it. I scroll down quickly and next. And then this part will always take a bit longer. Click on it once, not click on it multiple times. It will chuck you out. If it chucks you out, you have to log in all again. Um, Again, reviewing the page. Yeah, obviously it's a group flight. I know what the group flight is beforehand. If it was a custom flight, I'll just double check I put the cities and the dates correctly. Um, and then you literally scroll down quickly and then purchase. There'll be a button here, which is purchase. Otherwise, for now, you save to configuration. Now, a lot of people in the Hajj community know that it's probably quicker, or it has been quicker in previous years to have a group flight, especially 2025, because you could just click on your basket, configure package, go to the final screen quickly and press purchase. That was a matter of a couple of minutes. But we're seeing across the board, and I've spent the last 48 hours going through Nusuk, or at least 30 hours or so doing that, and seeing across the board, be it with some of the partners that we've worked with before in terms of service providers, and also the ones that we're guides for this year. And I've seen that there are not many options on group flights this year. And people are actually clicking on, and I'll show you this just for your, and they're worried, I can't find group flights, I can't find group flights. Stick with the filter of service provider because that way you will see all of the ones that we, as your guides, are going to be able to look after you from post booking all the way to the days of Hajj and then arranging for you to come back. And you have to think, the public needs to understand, this is like doing your mini Umrah. There'll be lots of smaller groups of 15, 20, 50, and all of them will be looked after same as, and we'll have lots of communication methods and our team across the board looking after all of the pilgrims. And as long as you are able to read your message and communicate back or share your information as and when we require it, you'll be well looked after. If you're one of those people that, do not follow instructions, then it's going to be a bit harder for service provider to communicate with you and also for us to then get in touch. So for now, you can look at all of the Holiday in Becca ones and the Sira Mawasim ones. We are working on narrowing down a table to have the preferred ones within each service provider so that it's less of a choice. But at the moment, you could technically choose any of those. And as long as you have registered or opted in with us to be your guides, then you will be with our team, inshallah, for the days of Hajj and for the preparation for the Hajj, Fiqh of Hajj course, for the Hajj seminar, and all the other preparations that entail Hajj
The camp in
2026.
Mina.
So I'll stop now then, Mishkat. I think I've gone beyond. We've gone a bit over the time. If there's anything that you wanted me to cover, or if there
Well,
are any questions on the
everybody's
Zoom.
waiting for this table. So what we're going to do is,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there've been some changes. There are some now. I've gone through the system myself, and I can tell you, for example, there are flights from Egypt Air, Wizz Air Direct. We have also Qatar Air. We have Royal Jordanian, and the flights actually are put on packages. Same flight are put on multiple packages if the dates allow it. Meaning, if the hotel accommodation is there, the same flight can be for two different packages as long as it's within the same hotel accommodation. So this year is different. It's not like one flight is fixed for one particular package. This is all part of the adaptability thing that they're working for Nusuk to give the options for people to book from anywhere in the world and to also book at just with a click.
okay, amazing. So what are we? So can we just say that we're working on that
Yeah,
now?
during this week, inshallah, should be ready. I mean, even we had some
Yep.
sessions with the team and the Mecca team as well. Even now, Brother Ghazi, Hudayfa, and Sister Aisha and them guys, they're working. And I was on Zoom with them just a little while ago, before we got on. And it's just we'd rather give one final rather than confusing people with multiple. For
No, I
now, I think people
appreciate that. I
can.
understand because
Yeah,
obviously there's a lot of information to
yeah.
digest, and also we want to be
And
as
you have to realize some of the packages are longer primarily because they need to give you flexibility of booking flights. So even if it says 22 days, you can do it, you can book it for 16 days. Just choose your flight shorter. Just keep in mind when is Medina so you don't miss out on Medina. But you can, like for example, one of the options I did before was 18th of May outbound, but I chose 20th. I could have done 23rd even or 22nd and gone right before Hajj and then reduce the number of days. And I still would have had a very good program. So you have to understand. So I would recommend people slowly, when we share the table by hopefully this week, or in the next few days, you can then narrow, okay, this one is good for people who are short for time or childcare. And this one is good for people who need to be, or who have a bit more flexibility, or this one is good for people with good budget. The other thing to keep in mind is everyone's saying, where are the luxury packages near the Haram, 12 to 14 days? I've been on Nusuk myself. There aren't many at the moment. I mean, even with our friends and other service providers, there's not many out there. Later on, there may be one or two, but there's only 15% in the Nusuk platform that is going to be luxury, and not all of them are going to be for the shorter ones. Some will be longer. So it's difficult this year to find the 10 out of 10 package, to be blunt, but you will find a program and you need to think, okay, given the situation, what can I find that will be the most closest to my requirements? Okay. So I'll stop
inshallah.
there now, Inshallah. I think
Barakallah.
someone's raised a hand there. Do you want to click on that
Yeah, I
one?
mean, there's lots and lots of questions. I did
Okay, I'll
try to
start answering the
answer.
questions
They've
then.
gone over 99. You kept it at 20, so you
No,
was
I didn't realize the question at the beginning. I had the minimized and I started answering them.
That's all right. You did quite well. So I think we should start Q&A. I think a lot of people are asking
Yeah,
questions.
sure.
Like, can I just say to everyone, just a reminder, this is not the end. This is not like, okay, this is just post packages going live. We again communicating to you. We're going to be like the question is which packages are you supporting again? Coming up a lot. So that information we're going to share with you, okay, that we say are preferred. In a nutshell, within Holiday Inn Bakka and Sira, all of the packages pre-Hajj, in terms of from booking all the way till travel day, you'll have support. During the travel, you can travel either on the custom or on the group flight. There will be some of our staff members in some of those flights, but when you arrive, you'll be taken to the hotel, and then those preferred packages, we will be in those hotels, and those people who are perhaps in another package, for example, within Sierra, they will be assisted and supported by our logistics team and also by the service providers team. Plus, you will have access to us at 24/7, really. To be honest, we work 24/7 in Hajj, to be honest. So any questions, anything needed, will be there. But the main thing is during the Hajj days and in the 5 days of Hajj, you'll be with us in the camps. So if you book with Sira, you'll be in the camp with Sira. And if you book with Holiday Inn, you'll be in the camp with Holiday Inn, regardless of package. And you'll perform Hajj, inshallah, with our team, with our scholars and ulama, and also with our guidance, inshallah. Then again, you return to your hotel, and then we will according to your package, we will be assisting you, whatever is needed. Okay, it doesn't always necessarily, if you know your way around, you will have contact. And this is how it is in this system of Nusuk, actually. The guides are there. Sometimes sheikhs are not so available and others are more available. And this is known. SubhanAllah, I've seen packages where they're promoting a sheikh and he's there only giving one lecture in the whole Hajj. This is not the case with us. And SubhanAllah, 24 hours a day, we're trying our best to give support, answering questions and giving as much as we can, possibly can. And inshallah ta'ala, may Allah accept it from all of us. Again, as Muhtadi mentioned, and all of us, we are trying to get out to you that there are changes, right, this year, different to the previous years. Um, um, and there are options to post booking to if subject to availability. I mean, last year we managed every single person that wanted to upgrade post booking. Then we speak to the service provider and they arrange that upgrade. Okay, in terms of pricing, that will be after Hajj. But I think if you privately speak to Brother Muhtadi in terms of upgrades, give us a few days because now the focus is getting on to giving you the right package. There is also, just I want to add, there is something that we're looking at in terms of by the way, we did mention we are also with Ikram al-Daif, but we haven't mentioned this in any of because we haven't created this Telegram group. It doesn't mean that we're not supporting that. But it's because of the relevant regulations and what is required and what is being asked from each service provider. We're working accordingly because we follow the nizam and the organization of the way in which each and every individual works. So in this case, there will be other options that will say to you that this is a possibility, especially if you're asking about luxury. Okay, so so the question is, if it's not written for us to go with the service providers that is in partnership, well, we're not in partnership, we're working as guides now. So partnership is over. So we work as guides and we're supporting them. That's how, of course, 24 hours a day we're in liaising with them and we are supporting them. And Alhamdulillah, our expertise has been shared across many service providers. Alhamdulillah, and they're benefiting from our experience when we used to arrange the Hajj ourselves. This is something open and they appreciate. But how would I get, say, for example, Urdu or Bengali speaking guides during my Hajj, and how would I benefit from your services? Well, I mean, it's difficult to say because we will be focusing on those who are in our because we have there's only a certain amount that we can handle as well. So we will only do according to those people and give guidance to those people that are with us. It's just there will be from those service providers some people I'm sure who speak that language, but you need to research and find out from them as well. Um, um, so there are questions that Muhtadi is answering. Is there any questions that you're answering that needs to be mentioned to, we've answered nearly 74 questions. Yes.
Okay, there's a
So,
question about if there's three of you in a group and you link their account, but one person cannot go after confirming in March. Would this mean all of the group can no longer go?
okay, that's a good question.
I'll tell you a live example of a brother, mashallah. Subhanallah, last year he was everything ready, and he probably wouldn't mind me mentioning this, but after our seminar at the Eastern Masjid, at the London Muslim Center, and everything, about a week or 10 days before traveling, he went for just a checkup, or he's feeling a bit unwell, and then they found a block in his heart, and they did emergency bypass. He was mahram for wife and daughter, and none of them could go. And Nusuk, whilst they were very, um, understanding of that, they had to apply the cancellation fees as per the Nusuk system, just to stop any further exploitation of the system. Because what can happen is, so to answer the question directly, if one person can't go, then that person will effectively give up their position. You can't change it for anyone else. Um, but you would just get whatever refund you're eligible for back. And if there's still time, then maybe that visa will go back into the open pool where someone else that's lucky and was browsing the website can maybe grab that visa. But if it's like the case of this brother who missed out last year and he accepted it, may Allah accept from him, and I think he's preparing to go again this year. Um, what happens is you just get back whatever the system does because it wants to stop people from exploiting. Otherwise, what could potentially happen is you can just book anything and then cancel, change the name, and resell it on. And this is what, unfortunately, some dishonest people would be doing on the system. So to protect the system and people, the cancellation policies will apply. So do go on the system, read the cancellation policy. Effectively, if it's a couple of weeks after booking and it's in March, then probably you're going to lose all your money minus a small amount. But the rest of the people can go. You can cancel one person, or you can just leave it and that person doesn't go. You don't do anything. You just don't turn up. Uh, yeah. So that's that one. You're on mute.
No, okay, can you run through? Let's do 10 minutes and then we'll close. And then any other questions we will answer on just a Q&A we can hold in a couple of days, right?
Okay, someone mentioned about the Amex. So before Nusuk was launched this year, there was some on our feedback
Yeah, so
session that we were
yeah, on
told that
that
it
note,
will.
I'll say so. Some
Okay.
brothers who inform me from the Nusuk, there is a possibility, but whether that's so, this is what I was informed because I got this question many times, and so
We pass on the info, yeah.
yeah, we pass the info. But again, if you can now top up and it allows you, then that means it's there. If it doesn't, then there's no Amex. Even though you see the signs when you actually go to top up, and there's a drop down. If it allows you to, then it's fine. Then it accepts. Give it a try and see if it works.
Okay,
Um,
let me choose one question here. So
so
can
we are.
custom flights be configured, selected prior to sale? Yes, but it will then, you saw the 5 minute pop-up window. After 5 minutes, it kind of loses the flight from the system. So you'd have to go back and do it. So if it was just before, so to answer your question, you have to do it on the day again. That's the short answer. But get used to doing it all the time because it won't store that fare or save that flight. Because as other people search it, it removes the seat from the plane. So you'd have to do it on the day again. So practice one or two flights. Have your flight one, flight two option as well, so you know what sort of routes that you want to do as backup. Can we spend any change in e-wallet on Qurbani or other products and services? I believe last year or the year before there was an option for Adahi where if they open it, you can potentially do your Hadi or your Qurbani on that. But we will see if that comes up. Um, at the moment, there's no additional stuff. Even it's just your package and that's it. Can you remove a family member after you've activated the wallet? Yes, you can. You can remove them, but as long as they're not the main account person, if it's a family member, you can remove them. But if someone activates their e-wallet, they cannot join another family member. They will be a standalone account. They cannot join anyone else. So if you activate your wallet, you can then not join as a family member for someone else.
Brothers and sisters, one more question that's really important. A lot of people asking, they're getting a bit worried. So last year, somebody said that the custom flights didn't work. This was for custom packages. That's another confusing word,
Yeah.
but country specific
Khassus.
packages. Packages. That means last year what they tried to do is to like UK will do it on a certain day and outsiders will do it another day. So group flights was specific. But this year there's none of that. All of the packages you'll see is global or public. You'll see if you go to the packages now. So that means and last year all the global countries and everyone else, and even our, there were pilgrims afterwards who managed to book, but the global packages, custom flights worked fine. And so there is no issue this year. It will work because it has to work because all packages, there's not enough group flights for covering all of the nusuk. So definitely it will work, inshallah ta'ala. So no need to worry about that. And I think it was actually, there maybe have something, we're not sure. It could be something that it was switched off. We cannot say. But inshallah ta'ala, this is not the case. I directly spoke to the um, lead of um, Direct Hajj, Mr. Ustad Abdullah Jad in London in November. And he personally told me that he's not going to do that anymore, and everyone will book at the same time. So, of course, you have to be aware that there's certain things that we are able to say and certain things that we aren't able to say because the right people should be saying those things. So we are here because alhamdulillah, we have a good relationship with all stakeholders. Alhamdulillah. May Allah uh, grant us the ability to serve the pilgrims and to continue to serve with good relationship with all those stakeholders. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. So that's really important to be aware of.
So there's a very good question here about will there only be one phase to purchase Hajj this year? Apologies if already discussed. Do you want to answer that? Or shall I?
Pardon? Sorry?
Is there only one phase to purchase the Hajj this year? So
Well, I mean, currently the plan is from Nusuk one, but we don't know. If something happens, a couple of years ago, they said one phase, didn't they switched off the system because the system could not handle the traffic. And then it was in the morning, and that was referred to as a new phase. So these terms are coming up separately, but they don't like to use the word phase. The director in Nusuk said it's all the same. It's not actually phased. It's actually everyone has a chance
until the visa is exhausted.
until the visa's exhausted. That's it. So once the visa, it was the same phase all the way. Even they say they have asked us to tell you that there's no phases. It is one phase, and when the quota finishes or completes from a particular country or the tents in Mina, the camps, then they wait to add more, and that phase is continuing. And that's why people were able to book even just a few days before Hajj, 2 weeks before Hajj 2 years ago, when it was in the system that we have today. So what can happen is somebody could cancel, and even last year, I mean, to 2025, people for whatever reason pulled out, didn't want to go, cancelled. And people just sitting there at Maghrib time. One brother who went with us, he said there was none left, and then I just checked again, and the package was available. I booked it. Alhamdulillah, I'm going with you. So inshallah ta'ala, what time, some people are asking, what time, they will tell us a time, and they will inform on their X and social media, and we will definitely inform you, and you will know. You will definitely know, and you should be prepared for that. Yes, so Muhtadi is answering the question about if this was answered, is e-wallet automatically convert? Yes, it won't show in pounds. It will show automatically converts to Saudi riyals, and it will do that conversion according to the standard rate, the currency rate, and whatever banking charges. Some banks, Monzo, and some people are asking, what is Monzo and Starling? Go to monzo.com and get your Monzo card. I'm not working for Monzo or anything, brothers and sisters, but it just makes it easy for you, inshallah ta'ala. It's 2 to 3 days to process. You can do it on an app right now and apply. It doesn't take long. And yeah. Inshallah ta'ala. Again, so $1 million question, somebody said, which package are with Hassan Tours? Again, so we are in general going to be guiding all people on these two service providers. We will send you that detail. Muhtadi is working very hard. And because there are certain individuals who can understand that the packages in terms of being able to uh, give you the right information in the right way, laid out nicely, to understand the needs and what is compatible. Remember, there were packages that we were expecting. Some of them are not there. Some of them are new that are coming. Remember, there are some things that are coming in the next few days. That's the reason. So just give us some time. I was trying to say to push the inshallah tomorrow, but let's just see. He will try his best, if not the day after. But this is something the team in Mecca are working on, and in London. So we will inform you with a list that you can actually go and see and say, okay, this one, okay, alhamdulillah, this one, alhamdulillah. And we have some more that we will be adding as well, luxury non-shifting as well, inshallah. If there are no UK flights, how do we officially navigate custom flights? There are no UK flights, meaning, look, brothers and sisters, this year is not like last year, it's like 2024. People booked on GDS, as simple as people booked, they just went on, and you just keep practicing on it. If you're very familiar, like Muftadi went through it today, we'll share the recording, you can go back to it and refer to it. But I think just being aware of how to do the booking and having some extra cash in there, you should be fine. As long as, brothers and sisters, The key thing is to get into the website on the day, and we'll talk about that in our upcoming webinars, how to prepare for that. If you're in the website, then then at least you're in and you can book something. That's key. Mu'aysim mainly is where we're going to be focusing on, and we would like to focus on. We can provide support in Majal al-Kabsh, but again, we somebody's asked if so that's that. It's just the group atmosphere, the way it works in terms of majority of UK and America and Australia will be in Mu'aysim. If on a custom flight, when we land, how will we touch base with Hassan on the floor? Um, I'm not sure. I mean, when you land, I've already mentioned that, and maybe you've missed this. So there will be logistics operations team. Post booking, we'll have all of your information with the service provider and ourselves, and on your arrival time, etc. WhatsApps will be sent to you that the night before that. Okay, so and so person. There's a system, and that will be communicated to you, and then you'll have someone. You have our numbers anyway, and you can contact us. But inshallah, you'll be put into WhatsApp groups according to your package and things like that. We won't be using Telegram after post because I know how I find it difficult using Telegram. It's just not the same. But for security purposes, we use the Telegram because it is known that people join WhatsApp groups and then take people's numbers and all of these things, and it is problematic. And data in terms of what was discussed before, you can always revert back to it in Telegram. And there's many other reasons, large files can be shared, and that's something. I would again recommend you go and study, go back and think who you want to go with. That's the first thing as your guides. That's something if you've decided, alhamdulillah, but still, go through the packages. We're going to be sending you those details as soon as possible, ASAP, inshallah ta'ala. But sleep on this, get, this update. I hope it has been informative. Some people are asking, can you explain the shifting packages? When we'll be in Hotel 1 before Hajj or after, or what about Makkah Hotel 2? So again, look at the shifting packages on the website. If you find one and ask me or ask the team to explain that, give us a call because we have gone through it. And what we can do is we'll have a separate session explaining one package and two package shifting and non-shifting on those. We'll do that, inshallah. We have some time, so don't worry. Uh, um, that's not a problem.
So there's a very a lot of people asking about certain package codes, for example, in Sierra Mawasim or Sierra Group Holding, about certain packages that are geared a bit more for the North American market, like US and Canada, because the service provider has a lot more flights from there. So they have asked us, they will confirm, but at the moment they're expecting a lot of the US market to book those packages. That's why we didn't put it on our PDF that we shared earlier on the Sierra group, but we're waiting confirmation on that because some people have really enjoyed or looked into those packages and like the look of that. They are considerably higher, I think about 60 plus thousand reals. And similarly with some of the HSR packages, HSR packages, some of them are geared also to some of the other guides with Sira as well. So we will confirm, we'll let our table be ready. But some of them are actually similar to what we already have, just slightly longer or different variants. Like for example, you'll see there's Mawasim value 50 or value 60, or there's Supreme 2, Supreme 3. These are all similar packages with just slightly different lengths or because of capacity, or they're the same packages, but they're just duplicated. Some of them will be named, for example, more for the UK market where we're leading, and some will be more for the US market, which is where some of the other guides will be leading, and so on. And this is, for example, within certain service providers. Again, in an ideal world, we'd like to narrow it down to certain packages so that we have more people in one particular accommodation, but we have the team and the logistics to be able to support. And think of it as mini umrahs, as we mentioned before, where everyone will be looked after and received. And then we will be logistically arranging everyone to be in our camps in Mina and perform the 5 days of Hajj. And all of the preparation beforehand will be done from post sales until your departure there and back.
Okay. Some people are asking about details of what I've mentioned about, the transport between Mina and Mecca. about Qurbani, these things about Adahi. Brothers and
Or
sisters,
post-booking.
post booking, we will have webinars to make you better ready than us, inshallah. The amount of times we speak and we go through things again and again and again, we drill it inside. And even during Hajj, we'll have webinars and we'll have also in Mina, we'll be talking about tomorrow, for example. I'll give you an example. Tomorrow, what is the plan? We'll give you a whole debrief, a briefing of this is the plan for tomorrow. Everyone be ready at this time, and we will also communicate that in the WhatsApp, respective WhatsApp groups. Don't worry about those things now. Imagine the most important thing right now is to secure your package. The most important thing is to work to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let me reiterate, as an experienced guide on nusuk, that please make dua. Some of you are not verified. If you make dua, wallahi, tomorrow, even now, something can happen. Make dua that Allah accept my intention. Okay, that's important. Focus on the securing the package. Post securing package, that's when we come in, and that's the easy part for us actually. And you may have heard this from many. The booking, it is just the fact that there's just too much demand for Hajj. There's just too much, and it's increasing year on year. So this is where we are. If in the future quotas are increased, inshallah, that's fine. But for now, around the world, don't look at UK. We're just a small nominal number in the Hajj. If we're talking 7,000, 1.6 million come to Hajj, 1.45 million. So very important to be aware of this first and foremost. Inshallah, we'll cover everything post booking. Our Zone M hotels, where are they? The Zone M means anywhere in Aziziyah, around the Mina, Arafat, and Muzdalifah. I think we covered that on our last webinar number 4. It's on YouTube. You can watch that, inshallah, with the maps to show you. If you secure and have a successful booking, does that mean you have secured a place? There's no more hurdles, brothers and sisters, except if Allah wills that you don't go, something happened. Like Muhtadi mentioned, somebody fell over or something happened, some illness. No, you are secured. The moment you secure, you get your documents, inshallah ta'ala, may Allah grant you success. You're going to Hajj, inshallah, more or less. Visas, some people ask, well, am I going to get the visa? Unless you're on a blacklist or something, then they will make sure that your visa is done. Nusuk are a specialist. This is the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah and the Saudi Kingdom want to push nusuk across all the countries in the world in the future. So this is a start in the Western countries. People who understand debit card, understand how to navigate websites. So they will ensure that you get your visa, inshallah. Group flights stay the same regardless. Group flights stay the same regardless. Doesn't change even when you go live. That's something to bear in mind. Custom flights may change. Sometimes goes cheaper, sometimes goes more. Sometimes it's the same. But you will find flights and there are different. Oh, another thing, later on in webinars, we may talk about other options of travel and how to, this is something we can talk about later, inshallah, perhaps, and, in terms of travel, how to achieve a better rate. Some people are coming, for example, UAE or Dubai. Okay, there was a question. There will be packages from Manchester, yes. It may not be on these two companies, but with Ikram al-Daif, definitely. Inshallah, I'll inform you.
I think a lot of people are, I wouldn't say anxious, but just wanting to know about on the day the sale, likely to work something slow. Yes, it will be slow. We can't deny that. How slow, we don't know. And will the custom flights delay the chances of you missing out or not getting your booking now? So far, if the UK quota is about 7,000 for people registered under the UK quota, meaning they've registered when they made their account United Kingdom as residents, either as a British passport holder or a foreign passport with a residency in the UK, there's not 7,000 group flights on Nusuk at the moment, from what we've seen, um, across all of the 13, 14, whatever service providers. So majority, and we expect probably 50% plus of the market will have to do GDS flights or custom flights this year. So
This is
everyone's in
where
the
we
same
are.
boat. So it's like you've got a fair chance still. It's not like
Okay.
previous years.
Yeah, so that's something to bear in mind. It's not like previous years. If it shows baggage, does it show baggage allowance? Yes, it does. Please take care of that. We'll talk about that on our webinars about that. About again, we're going to have regular webinars. If I have four people in my nusuk, will I have to do the flights individually or on the day of booking? So as soon as you search all of those four individuals, like Muhtadi showed in regards to adding the seats in the hotel, then when you go to the flight section, it will add the four in one go, four of you. Okay, so that's something that you bear in mind. And yes, so you'll do that all together, and you don't need to do it again. We don't know the time about when it will go live. That is the big question, but it's fine. You will know. Definitely, everyone knows. It will go blasting through the internet, through every social media channel. Be ready on the day, so don't worry about that at the moment. Um, you can select zero package. Specified for Hassan. There's no specified in that same, but we're guiding. There's certain ones that we prefer. We will inform you of that. Um, So I've done that. So regarding the custom flights, we'll close on the next two questions, inshallah, because we've been online for a good 2 hours. Regarding the custom flights, are they restricted to certain airports? I selected Manchester, and I could select a flight in the custom flights, but if I select Glasgow or Edinburgh, it says flight cannot be allowed, even though it falls within the same dates as flying from Manchester. I'm not sure why that is the case. Maybe Muhtadi has an answer for that.
Repeat that one, so I was answering.
So someone searched on from Manchester. I could select from Manchester, and it was showing Edinburgh and other cities. But then when I selected it, it didn't allow me. Maybe because the timing wasn't matching, but I don't know. I mean, usually,
I mean, I did the demo, it was working fine. If there's any particular package that it's not doing it for,
no,
do you
as in
have?
like outside, because Edinburgh and Glasgow can form within Manchester, if that's in that sense. Can I do from those cities?
Yeah, we can.
It should be able to. Maybe,
I tested it from even other countries, like for example, Dubai to Jeddah, Medina to
Dubai to
Dubai.
Jeddah you can do, and then fly to Dubai. Some people do that. But the point is, the GDS system is a technical sort of link, right? Live link, right? So there are things going on, and everything else on the Nusuk is a kind of what we call extranet. Those who tech people understand. It's just data that they're uploading. Okay, the only live piece of thing is the payment, the gateway, and the live flights. Um, yes, Elite Plus will be guiding, inshallah. This is confirmed. Um, yeah, our numbers are mawjood. Like if anyone wants our numbers, we have it's 0207. We can share that on the group 0207 702 170 time 1709. Just Google Hassan Travel, you'll find our numbers. And if you need to contact us, don't just ask for any of us. How do you know if a package is sold out on that day? How does it know? So does it show us unavailable so we can pick another? Yes, it will just say is unavailable. It will say the rooms have run out or something like this. So you just go back.
It'll actually go grey, and I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay. I think we need to close. It's not fair that we should continue. We will have more Q&A only webinars, okay? And any other updates, any other packages, there are others coming, by the way. So please look out for that. But for now, I want to thank everyone for attending. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. Jazakumullah khairan. Any other things to say, Brother Muhtadi, before I close?
Just apologies. Normally, I would have cleared the questions. I just didn't get a chance to see them beforehand. I mean, if you want to give a few more
All
minutes,
those
I could answer.
questions, brothers and sisters, we will
Just
answer.
the general gist of them is like the The custom flights will fluctuate. Generally, we see a ballpark figure is even if a flight costs £1,200 now, top up to say 2K, or we'll advise nearer the time as our team as well does some more searches, then it will give you a good buffer. Anything extra you can always withdraw. You don't want to be
Yep.
stressing about topping up on the day. But what we've seen
Yep.
previous years, 16 to £1,800 normally does it, but on the peak
Yep.
days, 2K, maybe even a bit more, will be okay. The group flights already, as you can see, are about 9,000 riyals starting, so it tells you the price of the group flights anyway. So that's the biggest thing. But
Which is around
yeah, and what we have to do is always difficult, even for us as guides working. We have things set in our head from previous years. We have to park everything on the shelf, or and then refocus for what is new for this year because every year is different. And this year, it's clearly with the package types, a lot less in the luxury category, mainly in the standard category. This is to make it more available, more affordable, and also to reduce the package price and the risk to the service providers, and also the adaptability of having flexible airports using the GDS system. So this is something that will take a bit of time for everyone to understand, but eventually will settle.
inshallah. And on that note, if there's anyone who is looking for those very high luxury package, and do let us know and speak to me privately, inshallah. Okay. Jazakumullah khairan. And we'll find some other solutions if possible, inshallah ta'ala. But again, let's close for tonight. Everyone sleep on it, and we will come back to you, inshallah, in the next couple of days. Let's answer on Telegram. We'll answer as much as we can. I hope it's been informative, and please rest assured that we're here to support you and guide you, inshallah ta'ala. And bit by bit, shay'an fa shay'an, you'll get there, inshallah. But don't try to absorb everything in one go. Take it by step, inshallah, and Allah will make it easy. فجزاكم الله خيرا سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. جزاكم الله خيرا
Alaikum
for
salam.
staying all this way, and it will be posted as well for those who couldn't attend. جزاكم الله. السلام عليكم.
Alaikum salam.